Hey, and welcome to a new speed build. This house today was requested by a fellow simmer, and it's supposed to be for a lovely couple using the Laundry Day pack and the Seasons pack, which I think is like a perfect combination. So I was down to do that immediately. And the girl is supposed to be a writer with a bit of a traumatic past, and the boy looks a little bit like a bad boy, but is like very kind and sweet at heart. So I wanted this house to be very cozy and very homey, and the shape's a bit like not the usual rectangle, but has like some bumps on the side, and then its main feature is this roof that's like wave shaped. I've used this style of roof before, mainly for like whimsical fantasy builds. Like I've done a haunted house that has this kind of roof, but I thought it would look nice on this one too. So that's what I'm working on right now. And then the back was a bit of a struggle because of the bumps and nooks and crannies. And I fiddled a while with it to get like everything to be covered and no roof bits popping out on the sides. I think I managed to get it quite smooth in the end, although it has this weird split there on the right side. And then this bump in the back I actually changed later, but we'll get to that. And then in the front it has a little pop out that's going to have some windows, because since the girl is a writer, I wanted, like I was particularly focused on putting in a nice writing spot. So I immediately had this idea that I wanted this window thing. I don't know what they're called in English, at the front where her desk would be in. And then I just went around and added some windows here and there, and the white roof trimmings, and then started putting white woods on some of the bumps, like imagining that these were maybe later additions to the originally much simpler house. And then for the rest of the house I went with the red bricks, which I think contrast nicely with the nice white wood and then the black roof. So that's mainly the outside of it. Then I added some white columns to the sides, and since I wanted this to be limited in packs, like using only Seasons and Laundry Day, I used the white base game columns, although I would have preferred some more square ones. But well, then I tried to add another window, but I decided against that. And then for the patio, I actually struggled a little bit with this. I started with this just little entryway thing, so I needed to somehow like straighten it, because I couldn't put a diagonal stair leading up straight to the door, so I needed to put some sort of deck. And actually I do like big decks on small houses, so I did decide to make like a really big deck, in addition to like this little covered area on the left that you see there where I pulled the roof out, which is going to be a barbecue area, and that's why there is another pair of stairs leading down there. And then of course a trellis again, although this time a really tiny one just above the door, for instead of having like a little roof over the door. And then I think this is black timber for the deck, and I sectioned this off with some bushes to create a little nook under the roof, and then started terrain painting. So the landscaping on this house is like fairly limited. It's mainly just some flowers and bushes around the deck and the front area, and then the rest of it is all just a few trees, so quite simple. And then of course the bushes, that section of the barbecue area. So I didn't spend all that much time on the landscaping, and I think I actually left everything in there and didn't cut out anything. So there we go, with just some bushes and then this shrubbery that I always use excessively since it's just so nice to create some life around your house. And I did size it up on the right, but then just use the small ones to cover the sides of the pathway, which I had so nicely colored before that, and now I hid it all. But well, and then you see just some trees on the sides. I sized them down because I didn't want them to be too dominant. Like I wanted the house to stand out, and also I feel since this is made to actually play in it, I didn't want to have like huge trees being in your way when you try to see your Sims. And then since it's Laundry Day, I put the laundry line, and I also use this table from Laundry Day, which I think is actually nice since it has room for six chairs, but I only put 3. It looks like more natural than the square tables are always like very orderly, like chairs on all 4 sides, and this looks a little bit more not so tidy. And then just a small couch on the corner, and I used this plant from the debug menu. I wish there were more plants in base game that like climb up your walls, because I really like that look. But there's, I think, nothing in base game. And then I use this thing from Laundry Day. I think it's like a coat rack on the outside. I think it's usually meant for the inside, but I thought it would be nice on the outside just to give the house a bit more interesting features. And it's not unrealistic to like have a space to store some stuff on the outside. There's like a little room for gardening. I did put some bushes in these planters, but if you play in this, you can remove them and actually use them for gardening. So the gardening stuff might also be in that little coat rack furniture piece. And then I did put some fairy lights. I just love these. I put them on a lot of builds, and especially since this is again a build for like a young couple, I feel it's realistic. And then there you see I created that barbecue area in the corner with a little grill, and then another piece from Laundry Day, which I imagine holds also like some pillows for the bench maybe, and just some stuff that you need for grilling. And I did put some candles, although I believe I exchanged those later. And then I grabbed another chair, imagining that they originally had a set of 4 chairs, and then one of them was just moved down there for the person doing the barbecue to be able to sit down. And I put some cute pumpkins. I mean, this is obviously not in the fall since there's a bunch of flowers, but I thought maybe they're plastic pumpkins and they just stayed there after Halloween, which I think is a very realistic thing. People tend to forget about their outdoors seasonal decorations, and then you just have pumpkins sitting around in April. I moved the clothesline to the back because I wanted the swing in the front, and then I also put a little truck. And I think that's it for the outside. So we're moving to the inside. You see, this is going to be the bedroom, this sectioned off room, and then the bathroom behind the bedroom. And the main idea I had for this house was that I wanted a bedroom that's sectioned off, but that has like just an open doorway. And then with the kitchen, I struggled a bit since it's on the diagonal. It was like more room than 4 pieces of kitchen furniture would take up, but not enough room for 5. So I moved it around, and I always had like weird gaps on the sides to the wall. And I tried putting like 3 counters, but then it was all flickery. So I ended up just putting a towel in that corner. And yeah, I think it's okay. It's not ideal. And then I put some shelving over the window. Although I later, when I filmed the tour that you're going to see at the end of the video, I noticed that these shelves are actually a little bit too high, and the stuff is cut off because it is like reaching into the ceiling. I think that's a bit misleading, because you'd imagine that the ceiling just is put on top of what you see right here, like on top of the walls, but it takes away a little bit of the walls. So apparently I'm not careful enough paying attention to how high I place stuff, and then all the stuff, like the tips, are disappearing into the ceiling. Oh yeah, I noticed that too late, so I couldn't change it. And then just a bunch of knickknacks on the shelves, everything you might need in the kitchen, and also some plants, and then the bucket with the cleaning supplies on the fridge. And then here's that writing nook. That was the first thing that I thought of when I thought about how to build the house, that I wanted this writing nook in the window with a laptop, and then of course a bunch of books. In general, I distributed an awful lot of books in this house, since I think writers also read a lot, so there should be a lot of books. And put some curtains, and then a nice little couch in the corner. And then there you see that I changed the shape of the house, removed that bump, because I actually thought it was like still a bit too big. It's not a tiny house, but it's quite like a fairly small house, and I just wanted to stick with that. Like, I didn't want a bunch of open space in the middle. And then I combined these two. I don't even know if the right one is a bookshelf too, but I combined these 2 shelves and then put a little dresser below that to just make it look more interesting. I think that turned out nice. And then of course I filled it up with more books, books everywhere, and changed the colors of these, and then just some more books just in case. So yeah, I think I'm really happy with the interior. I tried to give it like a bit of a mixed and what's the word? Like not all the furniture fits together. It's all kind of like, you can imagine this being a young couple's house that got some things from friends, some things from family, and it's not perfectly styled. There's white furniture, there's brown wood furniture, there's all kinds of things. So I wanted this to have a lot of personality, also with like the clutter I put. So there's this weird scale, and then just this comic figure thing, and postcards, and then there's 2 guitars in the house because I imagine the boy to play the guitar, and some pictures, and they're all a little bit off center. And then there's a trash can that might be left over from one of their children's rooms, like back at their parents, and they just took it with them when they moved out. And then the same table again that I used on the outside, just in a different color here, again using a lot of things from Laundry Day, which I think is a beautiful pack. So these shelves again also from Laundry Day. And yeah, I put that little robot lamp again, thinking that that's just a quirky thing, and it gives the house more personality. And then of course more books on the table, and this storage facility for dishes. And then I made a little windowsill under the window to put some more books, which I also changed the color of, and then another guitar in the corner. And of course I had forgotten to put the fire alarm thingy. And then I used the same curtains again to cover this doorway to the bedroom, which I think looks like really pretty. It's so you can section off the bedroom a little bit, but I imagine usually it's mainly open. And then I use all these beautiful rugs, mainly from Laundry Day again, and for the walls, the bricks from the outside, and then a green that is matched with the fridge, and a blue that is matched with the carpet. And I'm actually really happy how these colors work together. And then that nook is the white wood that's also on the outside. So that came together very easily. With the colors, I didn't struggle at all. And the bedroom is basically the same. And then I used this bed from Seasons, and I shoved it into the wall a bit to make the headboard disappear. So it just looks like it's maybe a futon, and then they put some pillows at the top. And then, as in the kitchen, I made this open shelving unit to put some clutter. And I'm actually really happy with how that turned out. Of course, I started again with an incredible amount of books, and I did later notice that I forgot to change the colors of those, so they're a bit uniform. But then I also put some other things, like this little bear, and I imagine maybe he got that for her at like a fair or something, and this picture with the butterflies, and then also maybe like this clock that doesn't fit in the style of the house at all, but maybe they got it from a grandparent or something like that. And then some more postcards on the wall, and then these Christmas cards again being a bit of a leftover from a different season, and some more fairy lights. So I think this bedroom is actually super cozy. I personally like it a lot. And then I combined this dresser, I think that's Seasons too, with this mirror to make a little, I'm not quite sure what that's called. Is that like a vanity, like where you would store your makeup in? Because I think the girl is also supposed to be quite fashionable, so I wanted to incorporate that too. Although I have to admit that there is a shocking lack of storage for clothes. There's just that tiny dresser and then some hangers on the wall. But I don't know, maybe there's more storage under the bed that we can't see. And I put a hamper because Laundry Day, of course, and I have the clothes line, so I wanted everything to be actually functional. Put this little towel rack too, and then some pictures, again imagining that's maybe something they still brought from home. And then the bathroom's fairly simple, like fairly spacious too. With the colors, I stayed in this color scheme of the house, so I used this teal color on the washer, and then orange on the other on the counters. There's no dryer because there's the clothesline in the garden, and also I'm from Germany and dryers aren't that common. So I didn't put a dryer. I just put this nice shelving on the wall, and then some more clutter just to make it lived in. Toothbrushes, of course, very important, and the laundry detergent. And then I had some trouble finding a mirror that would not be too low, and I put this dinosaur picture up there. I don't actually know what I was thinking there. And then I went to the debug menu and grabbed a bunch of makeup for that fashionable girl that's living here. And that's already almost it for this bathroom. So just some more towels, and then for the colors using the white again, but then putting some tiles on 2 sides because the shower, I believe, should have tiles in the back and not just wood. And I'd put another one of these little carpets, and then a plant in the corner. And that's it. That's my little cozy cottage for a couple. I had a lot of fun with it. Like in the beginning, I wasn't sure what I wanted to do, except for knowing that I wanted this writer's nook. But I think it turned out really nice. I'm very proud. I had a lot of fun. I like it. I like the colors. So I'm thankful for that suggestion, because I usually build a lot for single people, and I haven't built many couples houses lately, or let alone families. So this was a nice change for once. And I also try to keep it like cluttered, but still spacious enough that you can actually play in this. So this is meant to be played in, and not just, it's all functional, like it's all play tested. I actually had to move the bed around a little bit because in the beginning they couldn't get around the corner with the hamper, but now it's all working. There you see that I didn't color the books. They're all blue. Oh well. So I hope you're all safe, and I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you're still staying at home if you're on lockdown, maybe playing a lot of Sims, and I sure am. And yeah, I hope to see you again soon. Bye bye.